Tax dollars meant to preserve Tennessee history allegedly ending up in the pocket of one employee. State Comptroller's Office says a former administrative assistant at the Tennessee State Museum pocketed more than $60,000.
Tell you what, a lot of money. And get this, the theft went unnoticed for about 2.5 years. And it turns out the suspect in this case, that woman was a convicted felon on parole for a similar crime at the time she was hired. Fox 17's Eric Alvarez has the latest on what is an ongoing investigation.
Well, Scott Stacy, right now investigators are not releasing the woman's name, but they say she worked at the State Museum from 2011 until just this January. Now, during that time, investigators say she pocketed the cash from dozens of false invoices she created.
23 grand to a phantom vendor. 27 grand in fake invoices to an actual vendor. And instead of paying out of her own pocket to fix her car, investigators say the former administrative assistant spent $12,000 of the museum's dollars to rent a car for 15 months.
Total, she took approximately $62,000 of State Museum funds.
Kevin Huffman is an investigator at the State Comptroller's Office, the department that released the results of its 6-month investigation on Wednesday. It claims the woman was an employee of Adecco USA, which had a contract to provide workers to the state. The woman admitted her criminal history to Adecco.
She has prior convictions of forgery, credit card fraud, and theft of property.
But the State Museum did not run an independent background check.
Museum officials refused to comment, saying they didn't want to weigh in on an active investigation. But the taxpayers say they're not too happy to find out where their money went.
To be in the public trust and violate that, sad.
Art Lee says the stolen money was supposed to preserve history and educate new generations.
You don't want to exploit the good, valid history for your own selfish gains.
Jerry Bowman wants to know how the museum gave a convicted felon access to state dollars in the first place.
What can be done by us, the taxpayers, as well as the state, to keep that kind of thing from happening in the future?
Following the comptroller investigation, the museum plans to make background checks a requirement for all new hires, promising to learn from the past so they're not doomed to repeat it.
Now, that woman was fired from the museum in February. Now, any criminal charges against her would come from the district attorney's office or the state attorney general. Eric Alvarez, Fox 17 News.